What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back, welcome back. Another Monday. Today is the 11th of March. Welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about JAPA. There are two investment tips to avoid getting dumped abroad. We're going to talk about that for the whole show. Because today is Monday. We just want to catch some cruise. Watch me. I'll be in the chat. Chat with me. Let's chat. Let's talk about it. All right. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about JAPA. So, this is going to be added to our JAPA series. As you know, the JAPA series is going to be a continual conversation because what is JAPA? Whenever a Nigerian person, in efforts to seek for greener pasture, better life for their family, for their children, they leave Nigeria, they go to some type of Western country. It could be United States of America, it could be the Canada, it could be the United Kingdom, sometimes it's the Ireland, sometimes it's Australia, sometimes it's Ghana. Right? So you never know, right? As long as it's something outside of Nigeria, as a matter of fact, I do have cousins all around the world. Somebody was, last time I checked, somebody was actually in not Qatar, but in Iraq, just trying to get out. Okay, it is what it is, and when it gets to survival, people do what they have to do, and you can't judge them for that. It is what it is. But welcome back, welcome back. Before we get into that, let me do some quick shout outs. Shout out to my sponsors. Shout out to Mo Fresh, Richie, Life with Natu, Adesua Odirin, Film Girl. Shout out to Film Girl for hanging out in the back chat yesterday. In case you don't know what the back chat is, it's called the backstage. You can join us on whatsapp.manofprestige.com. That will take you into our WhatsApp group. Yes, so Film Girl, Open Floor by Tima, Show Mama, Gores Corner, D Love, Yes TV. So shout out to you for sponsoring the show, for sponsoring the platform. And you can be a sponsor of any one of our shows by simply, donating as low as 99 cents. The monthly goal for this month is $273.76. We are already at $39.74. That's up from $25.71 last time. But again, you can sponsor any show for as low as 99 cents. And please hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications as you're coming in so you are notified whenever we go live. Overall, what we do is here we talk about life and relationship. We extract life and relationship lessons from trending topics. And we approach them from a self-power, social seduction, attraction, and emotional intelligence standpoint. You can download our books for free. We have 5 books. Okay, there's 2 on relationships, one on marriage, one on on everything relationship. We have Get My Marriage Back. We also have Number 1 Red Flag. We also have 2 books on real estate. One is called The Real Estate Money Secrets. The other one is called Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. And then I have one book on marketing, business and marketing. It's called Digital Marketing Certified. As a matter of fact, if you check our community page, we do have a boot camp coming up. It starts on the 19th. If those of you that want side income, you want to boost your resume profile with a project that you can actually back up by real life projects, experience, so that you can boost, especially if you're in the IT world or you're trying to get into the IT world. This is a fantastic way to get into IT world. When I say IT, I just mean our world is getting digitalized in front of our faces, and if you're not ready for that, your job can be replaced by AI. Okay, so it's called the AI plus Digital Marketing Bootcamp. So check out the you can even go to digitalmarketingcertified.com, or you can just check out the community page for the link to the WhatsApp group. The first step is to join the WhatsApp group. All right, with that being said, what else? You can get some merch from merch.manofprestige.com. If you have any questions for me, or you want coaching, we do offer coaching services, and we do offer complimentary coaching services as well. for free. So you can just send an email to ask@menofprestige.com. Anything that has to do with life or relationship coaching, we got your back. Okay, anything in any of those spectrum, as long as it's not a matter of mental health clinical issue, we got you. All right. And if that's what you need as well, we have people in our network to link you to. Okay. All right. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. Let's talk about this really quickly. This is a fantastic week here, so I want you to stay tuned. We have some shows lined up for you this week, so don't miss out on any one of them. All right. With that being said, we're gonna get started with this show. I'll be right back in 20 seconds.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
All right, welcome back. So we're gonna hang out on TikTok, on my TikTok page. My TikTok has 275 followers. We're doing okay. All right, we're doing all right. We could do a lot better. You can see this is our videos. We had one good video here for 5,000 not too long ago, and you know, we just put this up. Okay, so I'm actually gonna play this video, and this is the JAPA video we're gonna talk about today. And I'm gonna play it. You're gonna see my reaction right there on TikTok. All right. Let me refresh this page real quickly. Let's see if that number. Okay, so this has 302 views already. So I guess we're doing something. But let me play this video, and please go follow on. If you're on TikTok, follow on TikTok and Instagram as well. All right. So let's play.
I said we are going to come and read law. I did everything. I sold my lands.
I not allowed them to be restraining order.
I sold my lands.
Back your teeth.
Make you go to school.
You know the shapes of
and
land.
this all you can do.
Land now you see what you go say.
This is all you can do to pay me back.
Pack, leave my house.
So go
leave there my children.
Social
Don't live in peace.
work for me. Say, I threaten your life.
Pack your things when you leave my house. Leave there my children.
I'm going.
No, we live in peace.
But posterity will judge you.
Now so we say.
Posterity will judge you.
You don't know how they hear those kind of.
Posterity will judge you.
Pack your things and leave my house.
I pay your school fee over to 4,000 pounds. Then I pay for your school fees.
Not today. But even the first month they pay 24,000.
Just because they've turned to bad last 3 months here. You don't get away.
How many children? How many children have I bought for you?
No, I'm not.
How many children have I bought for you? Me, I hear that talk again.
No, I'm not.
I don't bought children for you. Pack your things and leave my house. Pack and leave my house.
You don't cut super for me. Say make I leave your house. How much they pay for?
The government pay. The government will pay.
God.
Why have problem? You know.
They talk more. Say the one we say you can make it to say a woman go abroad.
It's better for me not to stay with man. When man, they will see man.
Hear me. If you get plan to sell your wife abroad, change your plan now, or you will hear me. Now, what did they see with that? See woman when I table can go abroad. I pay school fee from the first step to the last step. Now you get mine, go.
Pack your things, come out for this place. Pack your things, come out, I beg you. Pack your things.
I don't come out.
Come out.
But
which kind of man did that one?
Posterity will judge you.
My children, you will see, and God will surprise you.
Posterity will judge you.
God will surprise you. You hear me so?
Posterity will
You
judge
see now why I did for Nigeria, you take me to the 2020 I don't come here and my eye don't open.
No problem.
I didn't get it that they call mental problem.
That won't open, eh?
I'm suffering.
No problem.
I'll get mental issue because of you.
I will leave you.
You think I don't know what is mental health now?
No
I know better now.
No problem.
I know better now.
You, my brother, be wise, oh. The one mistake any man can do is to invest on a woman.
When you come for this, you call it this, you call it shout like man. Don't tell me say a man you do.
Instead of invest on a woman, invest on a man that is not even your relation.
Me and you go work, come back. You see once make I go kitchen, go cook for you.
You see your government, clear them up.
Back your things, come up for this house.
The only time one woman they submissive to you and say, woman, no, that's more opportunity. Anything will make your wife get opportunity, get small power. They can't be saying the power when you get up abroad, you go hear me.
Oh, yeah, come they go.
So you go hear when. You go hear when.
See this why you do so. Why you do so video with your pikin for here. You dey make you be like say,
I mean,
I be bad person. And you dey see your pikin they do this video.
You go social worker for me, say.
Thank God. You no go try and video me.
So say I dey taking their life.
Come pack your things, come up for here.
Nah, I dey leave my own house, leave my children come on. Because say.
It's interesting. A couple of things, okay. The easy part, gentlemen, listen to me carefully. The easy part, the easy thing to listen to in the story we just saw is to say, don't bring her abroad. If she does this, the advice that gentleman was given. Unfortunately, let me bust your bubbles, okay? Allow me, okay, for your own good. That's not the issue. Okay, the issue is not bringing her abroad. Clearly, you thought at some point that it was good to bring her abroad, if you did at all. Because sometimes when you say bring her abroad, she probably contributed 80%. Maybe not. We don't really know what happened behind the scenes. Okay, so gentlemen, the easiest thing for you to do is make an assumption on and pretend like you know what happened behind the scenes there. They're just ingrates. This woman, anytime you start your phrase with this woman, you're probably wrong because you're not paying attention, and you're probably projecting, and you're probably internalizing, and you probably, granted, you can read it. You don't collect woto from women. So the only way you can see life is just wicked women. The reality is that there are wicked women. Another reality is that there's a very high chance that is not your case. You're attracting who you are, okay? Not necessarily the person, but the dynamics of the relationship you've created. I know it's Oyinbo and you don't want to hear Oyinbo. You just want to hear somebody to drag you woto. But let's educate ourselves here. Like I said, we don't know what happened behind the scenes. What we can go by is what they're saying in this moment, which is usually a symptom. Okay, I'm sorry, Oyinbo. Which is usually the after effect of everything that has happened before they get to that point. So you're hearing the woman saying, 24,000, whatever the guy sold his properties and brought his family abroad. Not my family, not your family, his own family. He brought them abroad. So now you see the woman sounding like an ingrate. Again, we don't know how she got to that stage. The reality is that a woman should not be an ingrate. The reality also is that it takes most people certain events behind the scenes before they get to that point, before what we are seeing, before they get to the point like, kilo day going on, what happened, right? And then they say, hey, I don't need mental health issues because you did this, you did that, and that thing is not even enough. So yes, is she sound like an ingrate? Yes. Can she do better? Maybe. Yes, maybe, right? But the point is that they are here already because there are some things that has happened behind the scenes. Okay, so yes, ladies, please be appreciative and try your best to focus on the good that you love about your husband. It can be difficult. That's why the devil is winning, because it comes from a place where it is difficult. Now, gentlemen, listen to me carefully. That man gave an advice. He should not be giving an advice. He is in a very, very terrible place, and he should not be advising anybody at all. Will it work? Right? He said, don't invest in a woman. Nah, he's saying a woman, but he's actually indirectly telling you don't invest in your woman. It's bad advice. It's bad advice. There are two types of people you must invest in. Okay, so you don't find yourself in this man's position ever. Okay, two people you should invest in. You should invest in yourself. Invest in your education. So you don't end up with that guy like that guy. See, that guy don't fail in putting his home together. It's not necessary. I didn't say it's his fault, but the reality that we're seeing is that he failed at keeping his home together. Okay, just because you failed does not always mean it's your fault. Okay, we don't know if it's his fault. What we know is that he's failed, and if he has failed, he should be seeking counsel, not advising other people. Okay, in that position, it's only natural that he advises other people don't invest in women, because he's caught up in his emotions, obviously, and obviously women will receive whatever you have. they will multiply it and reciprocate. That's why it's collecting that woto, as you just saying, right? Undefeated. That's just how life works. Okay, so the number one thing you must invest in is yourself. The second best thing you must invest in, okay, is your woman. Precisely your woman. I'm not saying other people's women. I didn't say a woman. I said your woman. Once you've identified your woman, regardless of what kind of flaws she comes with, she's probably busy receiving from you, multiplying it. She's a multiplier, an incubator, and she's reciprocating accordingly. Including all of that. For the most part, that's how it works. There are some exceptions where a woman is just wicked. It's most likely not your situation. Don't deceive yourself. Okay, it's easy for you to say it's just women. No, it's natural that it's easy for you to say that, but it's not the reality. The reality is that I can see right there how that woman is literally multiplying just from the little we're seeing, multiplying everything is breaking, and she waits a little bit, and then she shows shots, and then the guy is pissed off all over again. Imagine everything he did before that. Just imagine. We don't know. Just imagine, right? Please don't do that to yourself. Two best investment. If you're a married man, invest in yourself first, because you can't give what you don't have. You will fail. Number two, invest in your wife. Okay? And for the most part, we're not talking about money. We're talking about emotional level type of things. She needs to feel safe and secure around you emotionally. Okay? Yes, finances at some point, because again, the woman is a woman. You bring the seed, she multiplies and reciprocates, and everybody enjoys it. You set the tone, and she makes it the home, and everybody enjoys it. She makes good painting, and everybody enjoys it. But when you don't have the structure from yourself, it's chaotic, and that's what you're looking at there. And if you don't educate yourself, if you don't invest in educating yourself on how marriage and relationships work, you will collect like that. Granted, guaranteed. Right? Come join me on YouTube, by the way. I have live shows on YouTube, Man of Prestige. I'll see you there.
All right. So that was that. That's something I just dropped on TikTok, you know. But what I want to do is there's only so much space on TikTok. I think there's 10 minutes limit. It used to be 1 minute, now it's 10 minutes. In that period of time that we just played that video has gotten almost 600 views just in that last 10 minutes that I've just played that. So I don't know, I might have found a formula that works on TikTok. So go follow, because if we find a formula that works, we're going to dwell on it. As you can see, some last month or so, we put some work into scripting some videos that, people like basketballs. So in basketballs, what it means is that it's conversational, which is why we love the show. Now let me check something really quickly. Last night we were 4 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers, and it looks like we're still 4 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this, please make do and go subscribe. Okay, yes, we're still 4 away from subscribation. All right, so please subscribe to the channel. All right, we're just building a platform, and we're not gonna stop. Okay, all right, so 4 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. So do me a favor, simply hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. All right, so my goal is always to use some of this trendy stuff to extract lessons that you can leverage in your own relationship. The reality is that there are formulas. Okay, don't let anyone or yourself especially tell yourself that there's no formula. It's actually worse when you tell yourself that. Don't do that to yourself. You'll be shooting yourself on the legs. If there are formulas to everything else in life, there's a formula to how this thing we call marriage or relationships, long-term relationships, there's a formula to how it works. So I'm going to dissect this really quickly. Before I go back into that video, even Apostle Suleiman said something here, not directly to this video, but some of the issues that's worrying or disturbing men that they're struggling with. Let me play this video, okay?
Context. Let me explain. Women have capacity to disrespect you. They are wired that way. It's in them. They have capacity. A woman you marry, what is there about you? She has seen everything. Who are you? They have capacity to disrespect you. It is who they are. The only thing that will make a woman continually look up to you is when there's something you have she doesn't have. When she needs to make decisions and she runs out of ideas, she needs to look up to you to give her one. So stop saying your wife is looking down on you. She's looking down on you because you are down.
All right. So no matter how you want to shape this, form this, back and forth, it is absolutely in the hands of the man. This is, I rarely say anything is absolute. You know that. This is one of those absolutes. I rarely say that something is absolute. All right. But for you in particular, it's absolute. If you're still here watching this show, it's absolute. In life, in the grand scheme of things, there's nothing that's absolute. There's exceptions to every rule. But that's why we call them the exceptions. There's a high likelihood your case is not the exception. You're just like the rest of us. Humans, okay? There's a social construct here. And the social construct is that Apostle Siloma is describing here. Okay, when somebody's gonna hear, when he said woman has the capacity to disrespect you, somebody's gonna hear that women are just disrespectful. I beg, let's learn comprehension properly. Okay, that's not what he said. Listen, there's a context to what he's saying. Okay, if you listen all the way down to the 34 seconds mark there, I'm going to rewind just small.
The only thing that will make a woman continually look up to you is when there's something you have she doesn't have.
He's talking about the dynamics. When there's something you have that she doesn't have, it's the only way. No, even just from visualizing it in your head, the only way she can look up to you is if you're up. Okay? If you're down, you're trying to force, what is not to be what it is. She can't see you down and then be looking up. Okay, so just visualize that. So you always want to put an effort. So if you say your woman is disrespectful and stuff like that, if it has to be anybody's fault, it's yours.
When she needs to make decisions and
it doesn't have to be anybody's fault. It could just be you assessing the dynamics and working to improve it. It doesn't have to be a fault. It could just be you don't know enough and it's time to learn something new.
Out of ideas, she needs to look up to you to give her one. So stop saying your wife is looking down on you. She's looking down on you because you are down.
It's the same thing as when men say you got emasculated, that you've been emasculated by a woman. It's the same issue. Abi, after you reach JAPA, she's not disrespectful to you. I beg, stop. Some women will come to me and say, if you live in Nigeria, okay, some of you have said that before in many ways. If you live in Nigeria, you will understand. There's nothing to understand for me in particular, maybe other people. There's nothing you're going to say that is outside of the dynamics and the nature of human beings. Human beings are human beings. It is what it is. Okay? And the fact that you're still arguing that is part of the problem. Okay? No matter where you go in life, one of the things that we also take the time to understand is context. Part of the context is culture. So, for example, you might say in Nigeria, it's only married men that approach people. Yeah, sure. But we're not going to pretend that Moses Bliss does not represent a good sector of the young men in Nigeria. Okay, at least from what we've seen on the surface. Okay, Moses Bliss, 29-year-old man, not married. Okay, oh yeah, but he had to jump out to find a girl. No, we're talking about that men are available in Nigeria too. You're probably not attracted to such men. If you're saying that it's only married men that, okay, where have you been hanging out? What have you been attracting? Again, I'm just saying, for the most part, you got to look inwards. Okay, especially if you're a man, is the point I'm actually making. Okay, what is it about you that's attracting your situation? Why? So your complaint is that your woman looks down on you. What is it about you that put you in the position of down to look down upon? Let's continue.
If you want that to look up to you, come up. There must be something. When you are married to somebody and
there must be something. I haven't heard your story. I don't know what that something is, but there are principles to what guides this life, and there must be something. I know you're surprised that I'm agreeing with Baba Apostle Suleiman today. I am agreeing with him. Absolutely. This is an absolute statement he's making here, and you have to pay attention. It's applicable to you too. So what is the complaint that you have? Why are you in that position where you could be collecting woto in that direction? Why? How are you? Yes, enabling it. Not being the culprit, but enabling it, making it easy for the perpetrator to victimize you. Right? No, we can't victim shame. No, I'm pushing back at you. You're right. What if we don't call it victim shame? What if it's not victim shame? What if this is an opportunity for you to empower yourself, for you to engage your power all over again? Gentlemen, why are you being looked down upon? Why are you down? Have you ever asked that question? Did she put you down? No, she's not capable of doing that. She's only capable of disrespecting if you are down. If you haven't earned the respect, then obviously that's disrespect. At least it will feel like disrespect on your end, even if it's not the reality. Because I can ask her and she'll be like, I'm not being disrespectful. Well, you feel like she's disrespectful, and the fact that you feel like she's being disrespectful is what is the energy that's going to take over your reality as a couple, because you feel how you feel, and that's valid. Just because it's valid does not mean we must sit in the funk and encourage it. Let's continue.
Still have to make decisions by herself, have to take steps by herself. She has no regard for you. So don't say you are being disrespected. You are not productive. You are not creative.
Ish. Ouch.
There's nothing.
Ouch.
When you step up and become mental.
So if you're wondering why Pastor Apostle Suleiman has committed allegedly all the things is committed and he constantly be on top, this is one of the reasons. Because you keep looking for fairness. So because he's not as morally standing as you think he doesn't deserve all these quickies that threw themselves at him. Well, it is what it is. Welcome to the real world. Okay, for as long as in a position where he can be looked up to, more than enough women will continue to follow him. That's the reality. Yeah, I know it doesn't align with your moral compass. Welcome to the real world. Let's go.
Creative, you become productive. She wants to take a step and decision. She has to wait because she knows that one counsel from you will take away all her mental instability, all her indecisiveness. She will be able to listen. She will respect you. That's all. So a man has to increase his capacity continually to remain a husband, not a hunchback.
Not a hush. Not to remain a husband, not a hunchback. Okay.
If you do not know, those of you at the call of God, even if you miss it in ministry, God can pardon you. But if you miss it in family, God cannot pardon you.
If you miss it in family, bro, there's no, listen to me carefully. Not if you miss it in marrying the wrong wife. That's a wrong attitude and a wrong take and a wrong direction to assess the situation. Okay, your wife is your wife. Okay, in reality, once you miss it, you miss it. So it's not really missing it. Okay, every day you have an opportunity to miss it again or get it right. Every day you wake up. And if it means you have to let go of that woman, let go of that woman. You don't sit in it and say, hey, I married the wrong woman. That is still pointing the fingers back at yourself. Okay? But he's right. If you miss it in family, you can miss it in ministry, in your calling, at work, right? But once you get it right at home, right, everything tends to follow from there. Let's keep going.
Adam missed it. Adam was no more the part of the garden where God kept him. That's why God said, Adam, where art thou? Is that true? The Almighty God, the all-knowing God. You think he will need to look for Adam? He knew where Adam should be. But why did God ask Adam, where art thou? Because Adam was not where he was supposed to be. What was the debate? It was debate of marriage. If you miss it in marriage, marriage is older than sin.
What is marriage is older than sin? Okay, that's a good angle. I'm not really the Bible thing, but it's the way it's interpreting that is going to be helpful for a lot of people. Okay. If you marriage is older than sin. He's talking about when you are out of order. Everything will get out of order. When you are expected to be a leader, you want to be a leader. Those are two things aligning already. But when you're now asking a wife to dash you respect for free, not earning it, that is out of order. That's an out of order mindset. That's not going to work. And when they say that's not going to work, as in like there's grave consequences for it. See that boss, we just look at the JAPA boss. So the JAPA is a new context. You change the environment. You should understand that there will be change of culture shocks, right? And you should understand that your woman is still going to follow your lead, directly or indirectly. When you change environments, if you've operated a certain way, a certain environment that encourages bad behavior, maybe because you're also bringing a lot to the table in that environment. Maybe it's truly a man's world where it's just men responsible for whatever is left off of a Nigeria. Well, in America, everybody works, right? Everybody works. Is that a reason why someone should be disrespectful to their husbands? No, that's not what we're encouraging here. Is that an environment where the reality of disrespect, as far as how you feel, can become your reality? Yes. Why? Because the context has changed. The barrier is a little bit higher for good reasons, because you're going to earn a lot more when you raise your level, when you raise your mindset, when you raise the way you think. When the barrier goes higher, you also have an opportunity to grow beyond what you're used to. But what do most people do? They complain. They complain about disrespect. The more you complain about disrespect, the more you attract it, because clearly you're focused on it. You attract what you focus on. What you focus on expands. This is just the reality of how life works. This doesn't have to be your fault. If it has to be anybody's fault, it's your fault. Okay? It doesn't have to be a matter of fault or guilt or blame or shaming. It could just be there's something I need to learn. There's areas of my life, of my manhood, where I need to grow up. But when you are busy being a victim like everybody else in the world, it expands, right? And it cannot play in the same space as being empowered. You're going to shoot yourself in the legs. Let's keep going.
Marriage is the oldest institution.
I'm sorry, do you think this is a masterclass? If you think this is a masterclass, please donate. Let's use today to boost the week, okay? As low as 99 cents goes a long way. We just need to see it on the screen of the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you for all you do. Thank you.
If you get married to the right person, you have won 80% of the battles of life. If you marry the wrong person, you become the weapon fashioned against yourself.
Now, you see how everybody is yelling in that place? They are all wrong, including Pastor Apostle Suleiman. That statement is wrong. Not because the statement is wrong on the surface. The reason why they are yelling and saying, oh, is because they can relate, because there's some truth to it. Okay? When I say wrong, I'm saying when people approach marriage from that standpoint, that it's about marrying the right or the wrong person, when in fact the reality is that the default is that you're marrying the right person for you. You're attracting who you are. You married who you are. There's something about that person that attracted you to the point where you're getting married to them. Could it have been wrong? Yeah, but the way to prove that to me is to actually disengage from that marriage immediately. Divorce. But if you're staying in it and you're saying you married the wrong person, you're basically deceiving yourself, okay?
Will you keep quiet?
No, that's an easy way. You're just trying to blame the other person for being a bad person, and you just happen to be the good person. The other person is a wrong, bad person, and you're a good person. No, you just don't know.
Stop the cap.
You just don't know what you're doing. Like the rest of them, like all of us when we get married. You don't know what you're doing, and you're not willing to admit it. Okay? There's no better way to tell me than your marriage is just inside of the body. Okay? At best, it's a lie.
Abba is a lie. Sabi lie.
Now, when I say it's a lie, it's your truth, okay? The marriage you created is wrong, but you married the wrong person. It doesn't have to be that. It could just be a matter of the events happening in your life. You're creating the wrong interpretations for those events. You're creating interpretations that will hurt you even more, because especially if we're talking about your wife, you feel like you married the wrong person, your energy will show. You won't put any effort into making the most out of what you got. Naturally. You feel me? How do you expect to work on that marriage if you already feel like you married the wrong person?
Halfway.
Right? So now Apostolism was doing very well, but I think maybe the clip is a clip from a longer message, so it might be out of context. But from what I'm seeing, if it's continuous, and then on to the point where I say, if you marry the wrong person, like, listen, marrying the wrong person, is that real? Yes, it's possible. For the most part, it's not the case. The issue is that people don't know what they're doing. You don't know what you're doing. Okay? And there's no factories. Dangote has not created a factory where you can learn how to manage this train from inception to delivery, right? So everybody's winging things along. The best they are doing is giving you some religious kombobolaya to help you make something out of real life issues, okay? You are collaborating with the person to do life. You have to know. You have to have and manage expectations around, just winging things along and expecting it to actually... No, you have to understand that there's a lot more that goes into this. And we've covered some of them. And Pastor Suleiman has done a good job up to this point. My point is that stay away from this rhetoric that maybe you married the wrong person. If you're not yet married, the same work is required of you. Work on yourself, because you're always going to marry the right person. The person that fits you, your lifestyle, you're always going to marry that person. You attract who you are. So if that's wrong, it just simply means that you were wrong too. So don't use that to point fingers. I'm not saying it can be wrong, but it means you were also wrong. You were also the wrong person. That angle needs to be balanced. You see, I don't pursue balance a lot, but in this one, if you end up marrying the wrong person because also you were wrong, so that you can know that it's just pointing finger at the other person is not going to solve your issues. It's actually going to make it worse, because obviously you disengage from the actual issue.
Nobody. Context. Let me explain.
All right. Context matters. Okay. So I'll take out the last part. He might be saying something else, but people added that because they know people relate the most with that. With that being said, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this young man, and then let me refresh. Let me see if this is growing. Oh, another 150. Oh no, another 100 or so view since then. So I don't know. We're trying to figure out TikTok. It's a whole different formula over there. It's not that different, but you just have to understand the platform. Like everything else in life, you have to understand the context, right? The formula is engagement. If people are engaged, it wins. Okay. So, and engagement on different platforms can mean different things. If people tend to watch it on the phone, it's a different thing. If they tend to watch it on the TV, it's a different. You have to understand all of that. It's a lot of moving variables. But let's watch this.
I will tell them all.
I said we are going to come and read law. I did everything. I sold my lands.
I'm not allowed to keep.
So he sold his lands. He sold everything for her to come and read law. He sold his lands. I'm sorry for this, brother. I'm sorry this happened to him. You see, there's a quote here from where I actually reacted to it. It said, I pity this man, Sha. I pity him. For a different reason, Sha. I'm not pity this man because the woman was wrong. We don't know what the woman did. We don't know. We have no idea, except that she seems frustrated, just as much as he's frustrated. Okay, but I pity this man. I pity this family. I pity the woman just as much. Okay, but I got this from I guess, I don't know if this is a page on the VDM that says, if your wife is stubborn and confrontational, please don't take her abroad. All right, so if your wife is stubborn and confrontational, did she just start that overnight? What led to that point? If you don't do a root cause analysis, you know you're going to shoot yourself on the legs, right? You don't know? Okay, now you know. Okay, what is stubborn? Stubborn is a state. How did she get to that state? What transformation happened? Have you done some assessment? Have you done any work to understand what brought her to that state? If you haven't done that, you're not doing yourself any favor by addressing the symptoms. You won't heal. Okay, you need healing, and you won't heal if all you're doing is addressing the symptom. You need to actually get rid of the disease. Okay, and if you're not able to get rid of the disease, which is possible sometimes, then you still need to learn how to manage the disease and whatever symptoms comes with that. And you can still have a good life. But if you're busy pointing fingers, anyway, let's keep going.
You restraining
I
order.
say my land.
Back your teeth.
Then
Make you dey go. You know the shape say
And
land
this one
you
you can
dey
do.
sell. Land now you see what you go sell.
So she filed a restraining order. Is that what I'm hearing? Let's keep going.
This all you can do to pay me back.
Pack, leave my house.
So go.
Leave here my children, no more live in
So
peace.
you won't on me. Say, and touching your life.
Pack your teeth.
This is what you can do to pay me back. It's not your wife that she will pay you back necessarily. I don't know. We need context here. It's not hard. I will wake up and say I must pay this man back. It's something that's supposed to happen at a natural, organic level. If it's not happening organically, something was wrong with your capabilities, with your skill set as a husband. Like Pastor Suleiman said, if she's looking down upon you, if she's managed to file a restraining order, a couple of things. She could be a wicked woman. I doubt it. Right? I doubt it. You could be a wicked man. I doubt it too. Right? I think for the most part is you don't know what you're doing. I think you don't have the skills. Okay? And we don't have the skills. As human beings, we encroach on each other's territory. What that means is that we're offensive. Not necessarily from an intentional place. The whole point of this is to become intentional, a little bit more intentional. We want it to be organic but intentional with respect to emotional intelligence and social intelligence. Right? The idea of winging things along, just because you're born a man, you think you're qualified to be a husband. No, you're not. And as we move more and more into the future, that reality is going to be exposed more and more. And you can see it already. Why? Because women now have a choice. More so than ever before. So, some things might be tolerated before. It won't be tolerated just like men. Okay? Well, I'm also trying to actually wake men up. You don't have to tolerate what you don't want to tolerate. A lot of times, men are just tolerating, they're normalizing it. They're saying this is just what marriage is supposed to be, and it doesn't have to be. You're normalizing nonsense in the form of marriage. If you're having to go outside to enjoy intimacy with another woman, you're clearly in bad marriage and you're not enjoying it. Let's keep going.
Since when you leave my house, leave me and my children.
I'm going.
When we live in peace.
But posterity will judge you.
Now so
What is posterity? I wonder what is posterity that will judge this woman. Because this already looked like judgment. I just don't know who is getting judged. Well, I know all of them are getting judged. Okay? Posterity refers to future generations, including children, grandchildren, and anyone born after you. That's what posterity is. Descendants of one person are. Baba, crosses know the work. If crosses work, Nigeria will be in a better place, because all the politicians, you know how many reigns of crosses that politicians get on a daily basis. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your energy. Let's keep going.
you don't
judge you.
You don't want to hear those kind of talk.
Posterity will judge you.
Pack your things and leave my house.
I pay your school fee over to 4,000 pounds. Then I pay for your school fee.
When she said leave my house, he's not arguing against that. I find that he's not arguing against that. Did she buy a house or rented a house, or she's the one working and paying the rent and it's not doing anything? We know for a fact that he paid and sold lands. Well, we know from what he's saying, because she's not arguing against that too, that he sold lands to get to the Yankee, right? Old glory. Be careful with old glory, gentlemen. This goes, I had to be careful with this personally. You know how you've done some great things in the past? And then you keep mentioning that great thing, but then today costs money. Today's livelihood costs money, time, energy, all type of things, right? Even at a mental, emotional level. Are you bankrupt today, but you did well 10 years ago? Gentlemen, be careful with that. You don't have the luxury of living on old glory. Will it work? It cannot work. I'm making faces like you guys can see me, but you guys can imagine my face. We'll be back to the live shows very soon, okay?
Not today. Maybe this is fine. They paid 24,000.
Because they're going to bar last 3 months here. You don't get away.
How many children? How many children I bought for you?
No, I'm not.
How many children I bought for you? May I hear that talk again?
No, I'm not.
I'm not bought children for you. Pack your things and leave my house. Pack and leave my house.
So she seemed like she would suddenly wake up and just say something like fire back. And then like, how many children were born for you? Pack your things and leave. She's frustrated. Okay? And she's managed to do a good job at passing some of that frustration in this moment over to this guy. And this guy is now like, wow, I'm going to leave, quote unquote, our house. Because he's not saying a lot of my house. He's just talking about the money he spent for them to JAPA. What happened? Did you lose yourself, gentlemen, in the process? Did you let go of your ambitious spirit? Did you let go? Did you lose? Did you drop the ball at some point? Because it's not about, oh, well, I spent all the money on her. She was supposed to return. No. If you did that bad move, you should always be improving yourself. Remember, the 2 people you must invest in, I led with you yourself. You must invest in yourself. You cannot give what you don't have, right? Now, sometimes from a strategic standpoint, you might have decided to invest in your wife. Maybe she had a better chance to go to school so you can work first. That can happen, and I've seen people use that to drag their own family on the internet too. Then you have to stick to the plan. Then you have to be, if she makes money and then it's time for you now to go back and improve yourself, and you're now using this moment to be pissed off and be annoyed and be throwing tantrums in the house, Baba, she will actively still multiply because you will frustrate her, and then she will pass that frustration back on you successfully in multiple folds, because that's what women do. You're not going to win that game. Lots of patience is required in this kind of situation. When you consider that and all the factors of, external factors such as change of environment, culture shock, and stuff like that, these are things that you would have been able to assess if you had a coach, if you had a wise counsel. But because you're winging things along, you expect that just because you're a good person, you deserve a good character woman at all points of time. Unfortunately, that's not how life works, because you're not perfect either, and you will never be perfect. You'll never be perfect. That's the reality. Let's keep playing. Okay, so he now said, house, where are they pay for? Make her leave your house. Okay, so maybe she was wrong in that respect. Maybe she meant her home. But again, what happened behind the scenes before a restraining order was filed against you? The only way they will approve such restraining order is because of misconduct. There's proof of misconduct on your part. They don't just approve that. Okay? They don't just approve that. She has to prove that you have misconduct. Or maybe in one night, she claimed that she felt like her life was at risk, and it happens to be a Friday. You're lucky you're not sleeping in jail that night, because they will ask you to leave that home. Okay? It looks like we have one person saved the video, which is always a good. You want people liking and you want people saving. I'm teaching you now. Digital marketing is one small up to go. Engagement, people liking, people saving. That means they want to watch it later. All right, let's keep going.
The government will pay. Do I have problem? You know that.
The one say you can make it to say your woman go abroad.
It's better for me not to stay with man. When man stay with me, man
hear me. If you get plan to sell your wife go abroad, change your plan now, or you will.
All right, so he's wrong. If you have plans to send your wife go abroad, now anybody who listens to this and they're not strong enough will listen to this, will internalize it and say, maybe this brother is right too. I'm scared, because fear is a very powerful motivator, right? But I won't blame this brother for your issues, because clearly you have a crack in your own situation. That's why you can relate with him. Work on yourself. Work on yourself. But this man also talks too much. Now, maybe it's just because he's arguing in the middle of an argument, okay? But in fact, in the middle of crisis, that's when you need to check the way you talk the most. Maybe normal day you're quiet, but on the day when I get into basketballs, you don't know when to stop. You're yelling at the top of your lungs. You're still not going to win the game, bro, because clearly you're now down. Remember what Pastor Apostle Solomon said? You are down, and there's no choice. Reality, universe will point everybody in the direction of looking down on you. Okay, even when your brothers, the ones that are just in the same poto with you, can relate and they try to drag women, they will still lose. It's a lose-lose situation. You're not gonna win because you want to be the leader. He expects you to be the leader. Those two things align, but it's disconnected from your reality. It's not gonna work. So the first thing is stop the bleeding. You should cease all type of talking and go back to the drawing table. Cease all type of engagement. Go back to the drawing table. You've been asked to leave the house. Well, something terribly went wrong. And it's not as simple as that woman is a wicked woman. No, I'm not going to let you get away with that. She could be maybe 0.111% chance, 0.0001% chances. It's because there are other issues that has happened behind the scenes that we can't see because nobody will film it, including her. They will not film that part for us. Right? But we know, some of us know that things have happened before you got into this stage. Now, some people don't know we're doing this video for them. They can't think that far. That what happened? They can't think about, let's ask the questions of what happened that got them in this place. We're reminding them. It's just a reminder. They can't, unless, they know that other things have happened. But we're reminding you that things have happened behind the scenes for this couple to be in this state.
Now, what they see with that single woman on that table, can't go abroad. I pay school fee from the first step to the last step. Now, you get man, go.
Back your things, come on for this place. Back your things, come out, I beg you. Back your things.
I don't come out.
Come on.
But
she's adamant.
Posterity will judge you.
My children, you will see, and God will surprise you.
Posterity will judge you.
God will surprise you. You hear me so?
Posterity will
You
judge
see
you.
now why I did for Nigeria, you take me to the 2020.
So when a man says posterity will judge you, God will judge you, God will all this thing. Are you realizing that when God, if he had children for you, and when God judges this woman, it affects your children? Guess what? Let me shock you. It affects you. I don't care if it's ex-wife into the future. Do you know that you are literally crossing yourself out? Again, you're not going to get away with oversimplified, generalized curses and statements. No, you're hurting yourself effectively, even if you end up divorced. Okay, even if you let her go. Baba, you go collect. There's no escaping it. I'm sorry.
Sorry, yo.
Okay? You collect. So what do you do in this case? Stop the bleeding. You're in a state of mind. If you find yourself in this state, stop. Just stop abruptly. It's bad. Stop. Take some time off. She asked for space. You need the space times 10. And go back to the drawing table, bro. All these people overreacting on the internet, encouraging you, especially the women that are sympathizing with you, they can't empathize with you. They don't know what you're dealing with. I know what you're dealing with, but I also know the end of it, the solution. The solution is not to call your woman out in public or to be, I don't know who's recording. I think she's the one recording this. Either way, the solution is not to play matching game with her. You're not going to be able to match that energy. That's not where you haven't assessed where your strength is. So you can't match energy when you don't know where your strength and your weaknesses are. This whole thing looks extremely weak on all parties' part. But unfortunately, you're the one who wants to lead. And you're the one who is expected to lead. So we can't argue with nature in that respect, or nurture in that respect, whichever one you want to call it, is who we are as human beings. Okay? You can't argue. You just have to face it squarely and deal with that.
I don't come here and my eye don't open.
No problem.
I didn't get to see that they call mental problem.
That won't open, eh?
I'm sorry. because of you.
I will leave you.
You think I don't know what is mental health now?
No
I know
problem.
better
No
now.
problem.
Well, lady, the way you solve mental health issues is to go and find therapy after this episode. You need a therapist, okay? If you know, and then they will diagnose you properly to see if you have mental health. Just throwing the word mental health around does not really help you, just so you know.
I know better
So,
now.
you, my brother, be wise, oh. The one mistake any man can do is to invest on a woman.
When you call for this, you can call
He said the worst mistake any man can do is to invest on a woman. You're right, if it's just a random woman. If we're talking about your woman, the worst mistake you can do is to uninvest or to take this man's advice.
He shock you.
You go collect.
Sorry, oh.
Be careful with taking this advice.
You say you call the sharp like man. Don't tell me say na man
A
you
woman
do.
will beg.
Eh?
Instead of invest on a woman, invest on a man that is not even your relation.
Me and you go work, come back.
Instead of you to invest on a woman, invest on a man who is not your relation. If you invest on a man who you don't know, who you haven't taken the time to know, who you're not interested in knowing, it's kind of similar to a wife. Even you self, you go collect too, just like he's collecting right now.
Sorry, oh.
Gender warriors will engage this and we enjoy this.
You see once make I go kitchen go cook for you.
This is your government. Fear them more.
Back of this come up for this house.
The only time one woman they submit to you and be saying, woman, no, there's more opportunity.
Is
Anything will make your wife get opportunity, get small power.
how come you're not the one providing the opportunity? Particularly from a standpoint of feelings, emotions. That's the question we should ask yourself. How come you're not the one providing the opportunity? There's no way government cheese is a bigger opportunity than what your potential is. Unless you're looking down on yourself. You lack self-respect, which is also demonstrated in this argument, by the way. She will mimic the level of respect you have for yourself. It's just what it is.
It can be saying the man only get up abroad. You go hear me.
You go here,
Oh, yeah,
win.
They tell me say I don't believe.
Come they go, you don't
I don't
try.
want from one video they say for some
You see this why you
Now,
dey do
this
so,
happen to now.
Why you dey do?
It is here for social media. Him it happened to right now. You know what? Because you were engaging that kind of content on social media, you've attracted it. Congratulations, you've played yourself.
Sorry, oh.
Do so with your pikin for here. You dey make people like say,
I mean,
I be bad person. Now you dey see your pikin dey do this video.
You
abi?
go social workers for me say
Thank God.
they will work for me.
You no go try and video me.
To say I dey taking their life.
Come pack your things come out for here.
Now I dey leave my own house, leave my children come on. Because say
It's interesting. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are about that video. Let me know what your thoughts are. It's a lot. There might be some things I've missed, some nuances I've missed. Let me know in the comment, in the chat. Let me know what I've missed. But the overall message here is that two investment tips to avoid getting dumped abroad is invest in yourself so that you can have enough to give to your partner, and then invest in your partner, particularly from an emotional standpoint. Okay, that is what's driving everything: finances, security. If a woman does not feel safe and secure, she will start to act out. She will trigger you, and if you don't know what you're doing, you will get triggered. You will act out of place. You might attract what do you call it, restraining orders, or even completely getting kicked out of your house or the marriage altogether. And then you come back and then you cry to us, say, see, na JAPA, no be JAPA. Or JAPA is just context. It's your responsibility to understand context and then continue to improve yourself as a human being, especially as a man. Okay, because you bring the seed, she multiplies, she receives, multiplies, reciprocate. You set the tone, she makes the home. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. Please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and turn up your notifications. I will see you on the next one. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, bye now.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.